Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about SteamDeck OLED and the new ARPG that has come out, and I decided to make a video for it last Epoch. What you should expect, what kind of performance, and what are your options. Let's dive into it. So the footage that you see from here is from the endgame system Monolith of Fate. Now, overall, with the game playing on the Steam Deck, this is the OLED. Oh, yeah, okay. This, because it has so much enemy density, I know it's already the kind of boss in between that you do in the Monolith of Fate. In general, you don't see outside of really big intensity areas to have that huge drops. No matter what kind of changes I did to the settings, it is pretty similar to if you were playing Path of Exile when the monster density was going up. After a while, when there was a lot of effects going on, the frame rate would really tank during the maps because of the modifiers, all the things that have to be done. It's usually CPU intensive and not really GPU. So even in a handheld, it's really a war situation because they have to share and balance how they work with that thing. But let's get off the technical stuff. Let's talk about the experience. So, the experience overall, while you may see the frame rate going up and down, you can lock it on 30 if you want to save battery. This is also on completely offline mode. This was my first character that I made. I made the Falconeer on the offline mode because when the game launched, it had issues, but they give you a full offline mode, so I just took advantage of that. Right? Oh, and that's what I really did. Literally, it plays kind of similar to Path of Exile on the end game, but the thing is, this kind of performance you see it from the start on the game on this game. So, like Path of Exile is very smooth during the first act, like during the period of the campaign, it is smooth, but here you have this kind of frame rate up and down to 30s, sometimes dipping a little bit below, but overall above 30 to 40 to 45. That kind of experience you should expect. Now, if you're new to ARPGs, you may think this is terrible, this is unplayable. But let me tell you, for someone that I'm not like very amazing into Path of Exile, but this is one of the things that kept me from diving into the game. I thought that playing in those lower frame rates, because you end up happening to you because of how intense the maps can get, you can play on those frame rates. I played even kind of high maps on my Steam Deck for Path of Exile, and you can definitely do it because you literally, like your character, if you do it right, you can make it so you don't have to worry too much about dying. I would just recommend to play hardcore, but if you play softcore, you don't have to worry about like dying, and I don't think it's a problem at all. Like the game plays completely fine, even though you see like the frame rate dipping. The actions that you're doing with the gameplay are not really affected. Yes, visually is not the best, but usually you don't play for visuals. These kind of games you play them for like for the loot, for customizing your character. The current uh, the current thing that I have on here is like even on very low. I didn't even bother to try like medium and stuff. I saw some people trying to do that, but I knew the experience later on it will be worse. And in these ARPGs, I always put it on very low. What you should expect overall from this game, is it a good experience? It still needs a little bit of polish with some things that sometimes don't work, but you can totally play it with a controller with no problems. They also include, for this specific situation, they also include with your right stick, you can do a virtual mouse if you need to select a menu that is not selectable for some reason. What you can do is that you can just try and focus on doing that. You can make your own filter. Unfortunately, the filter doesn't save through the cloud, so I have to get the file again or do it like just copy paste it with a big code. And yeah, like if it's on your copy clipboard, you can play, you can use it, and it's fine. But overall, what I will say about this game is it is definitely worth the money. It's gonna keep getting better. And one of the things that I realized now that I'm preparing to go for a big trip, I'm going for a trip for a month, that you can have an offline mode. So for me specifically, I'm gonna go to a place that probably won't even really have easy access to Steam servers because it's gonna be in China. I'm not sure what the situation is right now. It always changes with VPNs and stuff. I hope I will be able to play all my games, but I know that there is kind of a restriction for some games with Denuvo that doesn't let you go in, even if you are on the fully offline mode. And this is why this game is great, because it has the full offline mode. You never have to worry, am I gonna be able to play? You can have your offline character, and during your flight, you can have the full experience of the game on handheld, or even if you want to dock it to an external monitor when you go to your place or your hotel or whatever, and you can have a very good experience. Now, of course, the frame rate is not the best, but usually in these games, the frame rate outside of games, more commercial games like Diablo, the frame rate is not really about that. Okay, let's just say that it's not really about the frame rate. The game is enjoyable even when it dips. Your actions are not lost. I just would suggest don't play hardcore because sometimes maybe your actions could be delayed, but in softcore, and the game is not too difficult, so you shouldn't really have much of problems with what is going on. And the end game, specifically on this, I really love it because the maps are can be so fast that you really just go on. You can talk with your partner, and if they need something, you just put it to sleep and wake it up, and it's all there. You can go and do everything that you want. I find this to be awesome. That was my experience overall with the game. And as you can see, I'm around 64. So yeah, this is really my experience. I have 3 characters that are like all end game right now in this game. I really enjoy it. This is the only one that I have on offline mode. On online mode, I'm not really gonna bother playing on Steam Deck because I think the offline mode is specifically for this kind of devices. I also tried it on ROGLI, and honestly, the experience was not really different. The game is just currently not optimized for this kind of APUs, so it just can't give too much juice. And there is no FSR or anything like that to play around with that. I played a little bit around with the FSR1 of the Steam Deck with lowering the resolution of the game, but didn't really do anything. So I would suggest to just keep it as default, all very low, and just enjoy your game. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you love what I do, subscribe. See you next time.